Father in heaven, bless us as we gather today for this meeting. Guide our minds and hearts so that we will work for the good of our community. Teach us to be generous in our outlook, courageous in the face of difficulty, and wise in our decisions. Thy will be done. Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to call this Hancock County Commission to order. This first day of December 2016 at 2:30. Roll call. Mr. Clerk.
Mr. President, all committee members are present.
So we have a quorum. Item 1, approval of minutes, approval of commission meeting minutes for November 16th, 2016. Gentlemen, it's in your packet. If you've had time to review them.
Move to approve.
Discussion, corrections. Call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We have no government presentations, no old business, no correspondence. New business, commission approval of the October 16 animal shelter report.
Move to approve.
Discussion. Call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 3-0. County Clerk requested the approval of appointment of Ryan Rakinski as fiduciary commissioner for the Hancock County for a term of December 15th, 16 to December 14th of 18.
Move to approve the request.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 3-0. Pens out ink. Part 6, Roman numeral 6, Finance, Probates and Estates.
They have been reviewed and are recommended for approval.
Move to approve.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. B, approval of general county bills. Karen?
The P card was $53,123.95. Also need to get approval of October expenditures for all funds, $845,213.99. And November for all funds is $1,316,494.30.
Move to pay the bills.
We have a motion. Any questions? Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. C, approval of animal shelter levy bills, fund bills and requisitions.
They're okay.
Move to approve.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Library levy, funds, bills, requisitions.
All three libraries submitted and they're okay.
Move to approve.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Short. 7, citizens' remarks. Rudy Rosny.
Rudy Rosnick, R-U-D-Y, R-O-S-N-I-C-K. In July 1st, I met with the Commission to ask what were your major concerns related to allowing the Foundation to continue to operate the shelter. One of the first concerns voiced was a lack of shelter reporting. In June, a newspaper article stated that the shelter reporting was a major issue to the Commission. Shelter operational reporting was significant enough to include it in the new proposed shelter contract. In a personal meeting with Mr. Vitas, he also said shelter operational reporting was a major concern of the Commission, and you did approve a monthly report tonight. Now, 5 months later, let's look at the reporting implemented by the county management team. At the last Commission meeting, Mr. Vitas presented statistics for the county's first 4 months of operating the shelter. Having recently received both monthly shelter operational reports and a detailed spreadsheet used by the shelter to track every animal received at the shelter, I couldn't believe what was being presented by Mr. Vitus. He was deliberately reporting false information to make the county operation of the shelter look good, or was Mr. Vitus provided inaccurate information? Either way, the commissioners didn't question anything being reported. Each month, you approve a shelter operational report like you did tonight. Let's look at this. Here are some observations related to the monthly report, especially the one you just approved. First, you cannot reconcile your monthly shelter reports to your detailed tracking reports. Do you even realize that significant information is left out of the summary reports? Specifically, statistics related to animals euthanized or found dead in cage. You previously stated accurate sheltering reporting was a major reason for removing the foundation. The number of animals being destroyed at the shelter was important enough to justify a page-and-a-half euthanasia policy being added to the new proposed contract, but it's not important enough to be a statistic on your monthly report. Why? In August, your acting shelter director came to this commission meeting and reported 3 cats had been euthanized in the shelter in July. However, your detailed tracking report, again, indicates 5 cats were euthanized that month. Why would she report an inaccurate number? It's obvious that someone designed your monthly report to not report animals that died under the care of the shelter. When you approve these reports, you are publicly stating that they're accurate. Now, concerning Mr. Vitus' statistics, he stated 154 animals were adopted in July through October. However, your county tracking report indicates 94 through October 21st. This means that 94 animals were adopted in the first 17 weeks of that 4-month period, and 60 were adopted in the last 7. Is that believable? Bob also stated 20 animals died in your care. Again, your detailed spreadsheet said 21 animals died by October 21st from euthanasia, and 15 were found dead in cage. That's 36. Why the 20, not the 36? Obviously, your animal tracking
Thank you,
and your
Mr.
public
Rosnick. Time is
reporting
up.
is not accurate. One last sentence. Either way, your job is to provide oversight to ensure information being publicly stated or reported is true and accurate. The Commission is failing in this responsibility.
Susan Boyce, citizen.
Susan Boyce, B-O-Y-C-E. Okay, Mr. Vitus was quoted in the newspaper last week saying, "We knew it would cost more for the county to operate the shelter." Indeed. Official county records of animal shelter expenses show the Commission is paying double what it cost the foundation to operate the shelter. For the first 3 months of county operation, shelter tracking records show 325 animals came into the shelter, 36 died, 94 were adopted. There should have been, do the math, 195 remaining at the shelter. There weren't. But records show no outcome identified for about 100 animals. Records do show that 36 animals were transferred to 4 out-of-state facilities, but the county has no contracts with these places. And we've all heard how important contracts are. But we have no idea what the ultimate fate of these animals are. So, the Commission's own reports show that costs to the taxpayers have increased dramatically. The animals' fates are precarious and unknown. The submitted reports are deceptively incomplete. The contract fiasco has been shown to be an excuse contrived to remove the foundation and take over operations, and what the true reason for that might be, we can only guess. Can you do it better? Maybe. In time, with lots of money, you can fix what you broke. I'm not saying this to be mean. It just makes me really sad. But the bottom line, it comes down to this. Dismissing experienced, effective management of the shelter for no true, discernible reason, and then squandering financial and human resources ineffectively is illogical, and it's an irresponsible dereliction of public duty.
Carrie McIntyre, Hancock County Animal Shelter Foundation Secretary.
Gary McIntyre, CARI-MCINTYRE. According to the detailed tracking report provided by your office on October 21st, 96 animals had been adopted from the shelter at that time. Of the 96 adoptions, little information was provided on that report as to whether the animals had been spayed or neutered prior to adoption. Since West Virginia Code states that animals be spayed or neutered prior to leaving the shelter, except in certain circumstances, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt and believe that you have the surgeries done. If that is the case, with your current adoption fees, which are sometimes free, how do you plan on recouping the cost of these surgeries? How long do you plan on being able to operate the shelter in this manner? Do you have any protocol in place for following up on animals that were not altered prior to leaving the shelter? The foundation had these protocols in place, not only assuring animals from the shelter receiving surgeries, but also by proactively providing monthly low-cost spay-neuter clinics to the public, thereby reducing the number of animals that would ultimately be brought to the shelter. Without proper follow-up of the animals that are unaltered, currently being adopted out, these animals will soon be reproducing, leaving your mess to be cleaned up by someone else if you should plan to rebid the shelter. Regarding the animals that were transferred to other agencies, all of which are out of the county, and at least 2 of which are out of the state, your transfer form simply states, the above agency understands and agrees that the Hancock County Animal Shelter is transferring ownership of the above pet without any warranty or guarantee of behavior, temperament, or medical condition. The above agency agrees that it shall not abuse, mistreat, or fail to provide appropriate shelter and care to these transferred animals. However, what about any costs reimbursed for the spay and neutering of these animals? Are you receiving any money back from the adoptions of these animals from these agencies, who are sometimes charging $250 for these pets? Have you researched these organizations, their mission statements, their protocols? What happens to animals that they can't adopt out? Even including your own adoptions, do you require that animals that be returned to your care if there's a problem, or if they are not adopted from these organizations, or are they just simply off your list? The Foundation had protocols for these instances. The Foundation cared about the animals, their ultimate demise, not just juggling them around or getting them out of our care, so that we could look good and provide good numbers. We were told for years that you can't save them all, yet that's pretty much where we were when we were kicked out of the shelter at the end of June. The board members were passionate about the care of these animals, sometimes spending sleepless nights trying to figure out how to save what we could save. You say you're running the shelter better than the Foundation, but better for who? You're currently costing the taxpayers more, and the public can't get answers to basic questions at the shelter without your permission. This is now a county business. That was your decision. It's funded by taxpayers. If there's nothing to hide, why can't you provide answers? Do you feel that you're above reproach and that you don't owe answers, or do you simply not care about these animals? Thank you.
Item 8, go to the order. Karen?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing. Thank you.
Nothing good? Counselor?
Not today, Mr. Swartzveld.
Sheriff?
Had a busy morning.
Good.
We were able to promote one officer, Officer McIntyre, to the rank of sergeant. We were also able to donate $5,600 to Comfort House through the use of Growing Your Face, No Shave November. And they had a memorial service for a canine dog that had passed recently, that also had been retired for the last couple of years. So, busy in the courtroom. Other than that, nothing to report.
Thank you, sir. Who's in the back? Jeremy?
Yep. I don't have anything today.
At Garden
Here we go.
The Hancock County Extension Office has garden calendars that tells you when to plant, when to prune, when to put out bird feeders, when to bring in your own bird feeders. They're all free. They're at the Extension Office. Stop over and get one.
Thank you. Election Office?
I'd like to report that Hancock County had a voter turnout of 51.78%, with ballots cast of 12,880. We also, early voters also set a new record. We had 2,317 early voters. Also, I would like to thank the Sheriff's Department for the security that we had during that time. It was greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Good, thank you. Ms. Jackson?
I I have nothing today, thank you.
You have to have something next meeting.
I do. Maybe.
One.
Mr. Vitus.
Since my numbers were such a bone of contention last week, I think I'll stay quiet today. Unless you have a direct question.
I'm good. George?
Nothing.
Steph, anything you need to cover him up on? No? Okay. Commissioners?
Sometimes less is better. Right.
Write that down.
No, real quick, Ms. Gibson from the election office is here. It's a pretty large number, percentage turnout, awful lot of voters, and that is actually our 2 new office workers' first presidential election. And, you know, we canvassed and we certified, and I commend you guys on a job well done. Everything seemed totally organized. I understand the early voting is some discussion was taking place on that. But you and the whole group, workers, poll workers, did an excellent job. Much appreciated.
And I will let the poll workers know. They'll appreciate it. Thank you.
And that's all I'm going to say.
Saturday, I'd just like to remind everyone it's Hometown Christmas. It's going to be a chili cook-off at 1 o'clock at the Chester Fire Department. The parade's at 3. Get an opportunity to swing by.
Is that it?
Yes,
No.
sir.
I'd like to wish Commissioner Mike Schwartzmiller happy 65th birthday today.
Why don't you tell him how old I am? Easy peasy. Can I leave early because of that? Thank you. I actually have nothing today. The next meeting, December 15th at 2:30, regular meeting. And I'll accept the motion to adjourn.
So moved.